everyone. Welcome to SportsKhabri. I'm Rahul, and yeah, I thought we'd just make this nice little video and with a lot of Test cricket to look forward to in this 2024-25 season. The best wins of the modern era, and when I say modern era, I mean very modern. Looking at post 2015, and I wanted to include games that are fresh in my memory and the ones that I've watched, so I can probably narrate them in the best manner possible. So that's the criteria we've set. 2015 onwards, three best tests, and yeah, I'm sure everybody's got special memories from different test matches. There are ones that you'd love to include. However, with me making this list, I've got reasons for including each of these. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and hopefully, yeah, you enjoyed these test wins as well. Yep, we'll start off with number three, and we're looking at India versus Australia. This was in Bangalore, 2017 March. Very special one for me because this was at home. I'm from Bangalore, and having a test match unravel like the way this one did was just special. Yep, just some extra context to what was happening at the time. India had lost the first test of this four-match series against Australia. They had to win this game. It was very important that they did, and we did not get to the Western Stars. Making 189 in the first innings, it was KL Rahul, the local boy. Of course, he knows the conditions well in Bangalore. He was the one to score the runs. 90 and he made in the first innings. But yeah, 189 in the first innings, never going to be good enough. And yeah, Australia did indeed take a first innings lead. 276 is what they made in reply. And now you're expecting India to fight back. And that's what they did. Heading into that fourth day. On the third day, it was KL Rahul again making a very well made 50. Pujara was brilliant. He made 92 in the end, but again, he finally got out on day four, which was the last day of the test match. They really sort of saved India's innings, and it looked like we were going to get a good enough score, probably in excess of 300, but that didn't quite happen. On day four, the morning of day four, Australia came back strong. Mitchell Starc was brilliant with the ball, and yeah, we eventually faltered for 274, and this left Australia chasing a score below 200, which was very gettable. I thought, although it was a day four wicket and it was turning, yeah, I think it was fairly gettable. And for most parts of it, you thought Australia would run away with it. 180. 188 is what they had to make, and that was not. I think it was not too hard, but yeah, we started well with the ball. We got a couple of early wickets. However, it did look like Australia had the game in control, especially the way Steve Smith was playing. He controlled that middle phase along with Sean Marsh, who stayed for a bit, but Sean Marsh got out to one. I think he just left one, and he was LBW, and Peter Hanscom came in to join Smith, and this is where the game was getting a little interesting, and it looked like Australia at three down were still cruising with about 100 runs to get. But Steve Smith gets out to one that kept low, and this is where all the drama starts. He looks at the dressing room for help as to whether he needs to review it or not. And this gets Virat Kohli fired up. And of course, I think it was Nigel Long was the umpire. He says, no, you can't review it. And because you're looking at the dressing room, which was not allowed. And this caused a huge stir. And of course, India-Australia is already heated and the game's already close. This just added so much more flavor to it. Virat Kohli pumped up as ever. He was already pumped up when they got the wicket. And once this bit of drama happened, he went to the next level. And after that, although Peter Hanscom and Mitchell Marsh again sort of steadied the ship, it looked like they were in cruise control. But Ashwin's magical six-for in this game was just fantastic. In this innings, the way he bowled in that phase, I think Australia got about 15 runs for the last six wickets. That's it. That's how good he was. Of course, he was aided by a deteriorated wicket on day four, but it was just one of the best spells of bowling I've seen from Ravi Ashwin, and I think we just have to give it to him for the way he bowled. It was so special for India to do that, and given the context of the series, we had to win that game, and that's what we did. And it was, I don't think you could have asked for anything more. It was just fantastic, and yeah, with that victory, India also went on to win that Test series in the end. They won the fourth Test, and we sealed a 2-1 victory after drawing the third one. So, yeah, very special one. Very special memories from that Test. We're going to Test number 2, which is India versus England at Lord's in 2021. Okay, so this is another very spicy Test match. It had everything in it. Virat Kohli's famous lines, "Let's give them hell for 60 overs," comes from this game. Yeah, there's so much here. So again, familiar name. KL Rahul was the one who scored 100 in the first innings, a big 100, 129. Him and Rohit Sharma gave India the perfect platform to score in excess of 300. And yeah, it was the right start. However, England were brilliant as well. They scored 391 in the first innings, took the lead. And it for most parts, this game looked like it was headed towards a draw. And India did get to 298 in the second innings and gave themselves a healthy enough lead to give it a go sort of towards the last couple of sessions. And that's what they did, but you just expected England to see out the game. It looked like a bit too much for them to chase down at least. But the way the Indians came out and bowled in on that final day, Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit Bumrah, Ishant Sharma were fantastic. Yeah, I don't think there was any breathing room for any English batter. It was relentless from India. I think they got 4 wickets before tea, and right after tea, you got Joe Root. It was again magical. But it did look like at a point in time, England were fine. It was Ollie Robinson and Josh Butler at the crease, and they were 8 down, and sorry, they were 7 down, and it looked all right. But Jasprit Bumrah, this is where he told me that it doesn't matter what format it is. He is the best bowler in the world for this reason. From around the wicket, he bowls a slower ball when nothing else was happening for India. It was about 10 overs to go, and India needed a wicket big time, and he bowls a slower one from around the wicket to trap Robinson, and that wicket told me that this bowler is something special. And of course, do you remember the scenes? Jimmy Anderson getting bowled to Mohammad Siraj in the end, and Siraj lifting the stumps. And what a fantastic win again this was for India and England, we've struggled for so long in England, and we've not had a series win. And yeah, this was again special because by the time we left England in this tour on this tour in 2021, we were 2-1 ahead of the series with the last match getting cancelled due to COVID. So again, it was so important this win at Lords. It was brilliant. Brand number one, I think in the modern era, you just can't look past this famous Indian win at Gabba. India beating Australia, last test of the series. The series was level. For India to win it, they had to score big on the last day. 320 odd, and Rishabh Pant. Yeah, of course, we remember Rishabh Pant's heroics, but we don't remember what sort of preceded that. 320, 330 to get on the last day. It was always going to be hard, but we sort of thought that it was gettable. You had Shubman Gill was in fine form. Rohit Sharma was scoring runs at a quick pace. That's what they did, and Shubman Gill was the guy who carried that batting innings, scored 91, but he was helped by somebody we just don't mention enough of in Indian Test cricket is Cheteshwar Pujara. At the other end was taking blows and blows on the body as he did throughout that series. He did that in the previous test as well. I think it was at Sydney, and he did the same thing again. So many blows on the body, and he just kept going. He soldiered on. 56 of 211 deliveries, allowing Gill to play freely at the other end, scoring, which I think really enabled India to go for it with Rishabh Pant. I think if not for Pujara's selfless knock, India would never have had the chance to go for it with Rishabh Pant in the end, because Australia were in with a chance of winning the test. It's not like it was either a draw or India would win it. Australia had a chance as well if they bowled India out with India trying to go for it. Yeah, there was a very good chance that they could have won it. But again, I think you just can't look past Rishabh Pant's heroics as well. For a guy to come and play the way he did on a track that was finished, 8 overs gone, the cracks were this wide. The ball, Nathan Lyon was turning it square, and Rishabh Pant was taking him on in front of the wicket. He didn't mind sweeping him, slog sweeping him. He did everything there was in the cricket book to score runs. And his 89 of 138 will be fondly remembered by Indian fans. This, of course, gave India a famous series win in Australia as well, and that the Gabba Fortress was breached by the Indians, and doing it in such special fashion and to chase the target with the injuries that the team had. Virat Kohli, many would remember, had to leave early on in that series because he had commitments back home, and we had injuries that a lot of players suffered throughout that series. Jasprit Bumrah did not play this final test. Mohammad Shami wasn't playing the final test. It was one of those matches that there was special. No Ravindra Jadeja, no Ravi Ashwin, and despite that, a young Indian team with a bowling lineup of Natraj and Washington Sundar, Navdeep Saini, who was there when the winning runs were scored. It was something special, and it was something that you just couldn't imagine. And for that reason, I don't think there has been a better test match that I watched in the modern era. I think there's not been a better test match that I've watched in my life at least than this one at Gabba. So yeah, that those were my top picks for India's best test wins in the modern era. If you think I've left any out, let me know in the comments below. And yeah, if you've got some special memories from any other test matches that you'd like to share, leave them in the comments. Like always, follow the channel, like and share the video, subscribe to SportsKhabri, and we'll see you soon.